Stories in the Stars by Lisa Tenzin-Dolma is a paperback book recently released by Llewellyn Publishing about the Greek gods and their place in Western astrology. I've very much enjoyed reading this one. It's a book that knows what it is and it does it really well. Essentially, it's a book that covers the essential Greek gods and myths and explains how those gods and myths relate to astrology, to psychology, and how you can understand their interrelation just by understanding the interrelation of the planets, right, in between themselves and each other. And how understanding the stories of the Greek myths can help to interpret what's going on in the stars if you're getting into astrology. But also, I think that there's further value than that. Clearly, the astrology angle is the angle that is most heavily suggested in the book. Clearly the author is an astrologer and clearly understands the astrological psychology of the Greek myths and gods. But I think that there's actually value beyond just understanding the psychology and the astrology of each of the gods mentioned in here, because the author does a fantastic job of describing each of the gods' histories, stories, the details of their relationships with other planets, and therefore what you can expect when there's a conjunction, things like this. Yes. And so, of course, if your magical practice has got any kind of relationship with the Greek gods, then yeah, this is going to be of great value to you. Okay, let me give you an example here. We've got the moon being one of the useful planets to know about in astrology. And for those of you who are watching who aren't into astrology, who are maybe a little surprised at my calling the moon a planet, then look into the classical planets maybe. And then it looks at the god that is associated with that planet. Okay, so then it'll give you a background for that planet. And then it'll give you various aspects of the personality of that god. Some headlines, really. You know, what's the most important thing you need to know about this god? And I think that's precisely where this book shines, is by giving you what's most important. So if you're a Greek mythology specialist, this isn't for you. You will already know all of this. If you are starting off in astrology or starting off in magic in general and kind of getting interested in the Greek gods, I found the information in here so relevant to anything you might need to know about a planet or about a Greek god for approaching that Greek god. You know, I work a lot with Greek gods, especially for making talismans, and I have a daily planetary ritual, which I involve the level 3 Magister Venerabilis members of my channel on Patreon and things like that So I do every single day, I do a ritual to the day's planet, and I ask the gods and powers associated with that planet to bless my members, my level 3 members, and so I work a lot with the Greek gods, just reading the details here, it covers absolutely everything that somebody starting out in magic involving Greek mythology could possibly want. So that's really, really nice. I didn't care much for the introduction. It didn't really give me, I guess, a feel for what I was about to start reading. It was very poetic, as is the conclusion. Although at the very back here, the last few chapters are about relationships and aspects in between the planets, and I found that very interesting, very, very informative about the just very straight up astrological aspects, sextile, square, trine, and so on, and conjunct and opposite, and so on, and how you might interpret that in terms of what you've just been reading about the gods. Now, it's not just the 7 gods, of course. It's the 7 gods associated with the 7 traditional planets. It's all the gods that may be of interest to you if you're into astrology. So really, you're getting a complete introduction to the Greek gods and goddesses, their stories, their backgrounds, how they feature in regular human beings' psychological makeup, and how they may affect your birth chart and your everyday life as the planets that they're associated with move across the sky. There we go. I think that's probably a reasonable overview of what's going on in this book. So yes, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not a huge book, 193 pages. It felt like each chapter was getting exactly as much airtime as it needed. I didn't come across any of the gods thinking to myself, I wish that this bit of information that I know were included. Nope, everything that I knew was here and a little bit more. So that's not bad, I think. It probably says, something about how much I know about these gods. I'm not a specialist in Greek mythology. And as I said at the beginning of my review, if you are a specialist in Greek mythology, this isn't for you. But I do work regularly with these spirits and energies and gods, and I'm going to be keeping this book on my shelf. So that should be an indication of how much I appreciate it. There we go. That's Stories in the Stars by Lisa Tenzin-Dolma. I hope you enjoyed the review. Don't forget to leave a like, hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And of course, if you'd like to support the channel, then there's a Patreon that you can find down below. And I do tarot readings. So if you'd like a consultation with me, I can read your tarot, of course. I can also recommend books for your own magical progress. And the links to do that are down below as well. All right, folks, I hope you have a lovely day whenever you are and wherever you are. Do take care of yourselves. Do take care of each other. I'll see you soon with another video. Bye-bye.